perfect storm is brewing with delayed energy projects and the closure of Liddell in just 18 days' time, likely to drive up what are already high power prices. The state's new Energy Minister Penny Sharp was out this morning sounding the alarm about power prices. But given we've all known about the impending closure of Liddell now for years, that's little more than stating the bleeding obvious and no practical solution in sight. Joining me now, Environment Editor at The Australian, Graham Lloyd. Hopefully you'll be able to show us the way here, Graham. Liddell's being mothballed in, as I said, under 20 days' time. That's 1,200 megawatts of power gone from the grid. Do we have any idea what this will mean for power prices?
Well, hello, Peter. If you look at experience, when the large power stations have exited in the past, looking particularly in Victoria, prices in the wholesale market have just skyrocketed, and it's been very hard to digest and regain equilibrium. If you look at Liddell, it is something that has been debated for many, many years, and it's been a bit of a sort of cultural contest about whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that it's shut down. But the truth is, none of the supply that was promised to replace it has materialised. It's coincided with shortage of gas and tight conditions in the market overall. So it really is a perfect storm that's been inherited by the new government.
How does someone like Tomago, the big smelter in New South Wales, fare if power like this is disappearing from the marketplace? I'm assuming they've got contracts, but then we've got the price spikes. How do we keep manufacturing jobs in Australia?
Well, this is the $64 million question, and what history shows is that large companies will persevere as they can and then just make the decision to go somewhere else. Big aluminium smelters absolutely depend on electricity in large volumes and being dependably available. We've now got the situation where it's questionable whether it will be available, and it's certainly going to be very expensive. This is a terrible situation for the big energy users, and as night follows day, they may simply shut up.
I mean, Penny Sharp, I will give her a break here. This is not her mess. This is Matt Keane's mess. She certainly has inherited it, and 18 days to go. I don't know, there's a lot she can do. But of course, Liddell shutting now is just the precursor to when we lose Eraring at close to 25%, not 10% of power in New South Wales. Eraring's 2 years away from slated closure. It became a bit of an issue in the New South Wales campaign. Labor wouldn't rule out intervening. Well, now they're the government. Do you think they will intervene, and what do you think they should do?
Well, I think there'll be a lot of lessons learned from what happens with the Liddell closure. Certainly there's been a lot of renewable energy put into the system, but there's by no means any certainty that that is going to cover the loss. Looking at Eraring, that is a facility that's currently up for sale, with Brookfield taking over the company that owns it, Origin. And there is probably a lot of scope there to renegotiate what happens to that going forward. I think the government's position can't really compel a private owner to do anything, but there's a lot of mechanisms. It could underwrite a refurbishment, it could take the company over, but these are talks I think that will certainly be happening in the pretty near future.